Welcome into the recap of the most disgusting Bears loss that I can remember. 18-15 to the Washington Commanders Sunday afternoon in Washington. I'm David Kaplan. It's brought to you by our great partners at the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. They are the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears. And Felco, they are Chicago's home renewal experts. Windows, siding, doors, and roofing. They are the best. Folks, if there isn't a level of accountability from Ryan Poles, George McCaskey, whatever say he has, Kevin Warren, on the nonsensical, horrible coaching decisions we watched today, the bullshit with Tyreek Stevenson, I'll get to that in just a moment, then there never will be any kind of accountability. I don't want to hear, well, the guys gave us a great effort and they really battled back, the young players and Caleb hung in there. Caleb was not good today. He was really good in the fourth quarter. First three, he was not good. Some of it of his own device, he was not accurate. And some of it, his offensive line was horrible. And Karan Amagaji failed in a really big moment when Braxton Jones went out with a knee injury. They bring in the rookie from Yale, and he got a big block, actually two blocks, on the DeAndre Swift 56-yard touchdown. That was super cool to see. But when he first came in the game, oh my God, this guy was horrifically bad. Horrible. If he's not ready to play, then don't put his ass in the football game. Go acquire somebody. Go find someone off the street. But geez, he was horrible when he first went in there. That's number one. Number two, your coaching staff gets an F. They were pathetic today. Pathetic. And that all falls at the feet of one guy. And his name is Matt Eberflus. And by the way, Jonathan Hood and I have to interview that guy tomorrow morning at 8:20 on ESPN 1000. First question. Coach, we'll get to all the decision-making in a minute. Tyreek Stevenson on the Hail Mary is in the corner of the end zone. He's not even making a play because he's trash-talking all the Commanders fans. And then he turns and goes, oh, shit, runs over there, and he tips the ball in the air. Touchdown, game over. If there isn't a level of accountability where Eberflus throws him right under the bus, it says that nonsense will never happen again, and the only person to blame for it is him. But he won't do that. Eberflus doesn't do that stuff, and that's what drives me insane about the guy. How about we go to the goal line? You got the ball at the 1. Do you think, let's pick the really good coaches, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Tomlin, the retired, maybe for a while, Bill Belichick. Pick Andy Reid, Matt LaFleur, Kevin O'Connell, Dan Campbell. Think they're handing the ball to the offensive lineman who's a backup who you released last year. He went to Cincinnati. They released him, and you picked him back up. Do you think they're handing him the football there from a rookie quarterback? The answer is no freaking way. They hand it to Roschon Johnson, and he gets in the end zone. Nope. We hand it to Doug Kramer, and he fumbles it. Defense was amazing. They stepped up and made a lot of plays today against a really good quarterback. Jaden Daniels a really good football player. But guess what? Defense kept you in the football game. They get you the ball back. You take it right back down, and on first down, guess what you do? You don't hand it to Roschon Johnson. You throw a fade pass in the deep left corner of the end zone. Too far, it goes out of bounds. But guess what that does? It stops the Jesus Christ clock. It stops it. And guess what? With 6 seconds left late in the game, they run a play. Tony Romo on the game says, there's no way you can get a Hail Mary this far. They're going to have to run like a 15-yard play. If he knew that in the booth, what the hell were you doing, Eberflus, defensive coordinator genius? They pick up 15 yards. Now they got a shot. Bam. Drop it over the top of Tyreek Stevenson, who's off celebrating in the corner. Check my Twitter if you want to see the video. I gave credit. It's the guy in Washington who filmed it. He deserves all the credit in the world. A great shot. But let me tell you something. Between Eberflus's mismanagement of the clock, between Shane Waldron being the worst freaking play caller I've ever watched, he should be fired tonight. And I can promise you, Ditka, Jimmy Johnson, Bill Parcells, those guys, the hard-nosed guys, they would fire his ass. They wouldn't let him on the plane. Get him a plane ticket and get him out of here. He ain't flying home with us. But they won't do any of that. I can tell you what Eberflus is going to say tomorrow, 8:20 on ESPN 1000, because Jonathan Hood and we have to interview this guy. Well, the guys battled and they competed and they hung in there and they did this. That's all a bunch of bullshit, Coach. I want to hear you tell me that Tyreek Stevenson is not starting next week, and I want you to absolutely excoriate him for an unprofessional display. How about Tyreek Stevenson? Boom! Hands to the face of an offensive lineman after the play. 15 yards. Move it down the field. Undisciplined nonsense falls at the feet of you, Matt Eberflus. It falls at your feet. You're the freaking head coach. Jesus Christ. The worst freaking loss I have ever watched by a Chicago Bears team. And Lord knows there's been plenty of them. Let's knock out our player of the game, DeAndre Swift. Well over 100 yards rushing, 56-yard touchdown. Dude is trending in a great direction. DeAndre Swift is our apt player of the game. Go to abt.com. Use the code Kaplan25. You'll get $25 off any purchase of $150 or more. So go buy some headphones. I'll save you an extra $25 off their already low prices. The Dr. Pepper play of the game, obviously, Jaden Daniels with the whatever it was, 9-mile Hail Mary that ends up for a touchdown that beats the Bears 18-15. The drive of the game was the drive that took the Bears 51 yards on 11 plays to stick it in the end zone and get the 2-point conversion and take the lead late in the football game with 31 seconds left. That is our Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers drive of the game. And finally, our 4 seasons, heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. Stat of the day. Here's a stat for you. Jaden Daniels had more time and held the ball longer in a successful Hail Mary than I believe we've seen in the National Football League in a game-ending Hail Mary to win it. More time. He held it over 10 seconds. And our vaunted pass rush couldn't get to him. And please don't tell me they were getting held. There's never going to be a holding call unless you tackle somebody on the last play of the game. Bears lose 18-15. Tune in tomorrow morning. But let me tell you something. This coaching staff, they can't do it. They cannot do it. They're not good enough. They're not smart enough, and they don't hold people accountable. That's a bullshit loss, and it falls at their feet first and foremost. Have a great night. Take that.